Hi there, I'm Lucy McDonald, physiotherapist. Welcome back to my virtual clinic. Today I'm going to be talking to you about returning to running after injury or illness. But before I do, I'd like to say thank you very much to those of you that continue to send me lovely messages of support. I really appreciate them. Please do subscribe and make sure you share these videos so that as many people as possible can benefit from my advice. So you're returning to running after you've had to take a period of time off due to injury or illness, or perhaps just lack of motivation or whatever, and you want to get back into running. So how do you do it? The first thing is probably the most obvious, which is don't just go back in where you left off. So by now your muscles will have become weaker, your tendons and other structures will have become less resilient, and your heart and your lungs will be less fit. So it's really important that you ease your way back in gently, otherwise you're just going to end up re-injuring or becoming ill, and you might get even more ill than previously. So how do you do it? How do you know that you're ready to go back to running? The first thing I would recommend is that if you can go for a 45-minute brisk walk and you're not too fatigued afterwards and you don't have any pain, then it's time to start introducing some run walk intervals. So put on your running trainers and go for a brisk walk and see how you feel. If you're feeling fabulous, then I would recommend that you start a run walk interval return. So you start with a 2-minute walk and then a 1-minute run, a 2-minute walk and a 1-minute run. And you continue to do that for a total of 21 minutes. In other words, you do 7 sets of 3-minute blocks of those run walks. You don't do it particularly fast, you do it at a nice steady rate, but equally you don't artificially slow yourself down, because that can actually lead to injury in itself. So just a nice steady pace. When you've done that 21 minutes, as long as you don't have any pain and you're not feeling fatigued, then that's fine. The difference between tiredness and fatigue is generally that if you feel tired and you go to bed, you wake up in the morning and you feel fresh, then that's fine. If you feel tired, you go to bed, you have a good night's sleep, you wake up and you still feel tired, then that's more fatigue and that's not good. So you need to really reel back the speed of your progress if that's the case. Presuming everything's good, then you can start to play around a bit with those intervals. So you can start to run nice and steadily for 2 minutes and then walk for 1 minute. Run for 2, walk for 1, and again a maximum of 21 minutes. Now, really important, if you are progressing from one level to the next, you need to leave 2 whole days afterwards to make sure you can really test how your body has responded to that increase, because it can take up to 72 hours for the body's inflammatory processes to take place. So you really only know how your body has responded to that extra strain going through it after 72 hours. So try and leave 2 whole days between your running sessions. Now, it's really important that as you're returning to running, that you make sure you pay extra attention on your recovery. So things like nutrition, sleep, managing stress, all of those things are really important when you are returning to running. So please do make sure that you're making sure that you're eating really well. So plenty of veg, complex carbohydrates, minimizing processed food, minimizing sugar, minimizing alcohol, smoking, that kind of thing. So really paying attention to all those things. Likewise, sleep. Sleep is when we do a lot of our regeneration and recovery. So paying attention to making sure you get good quality sleep and enough sleep. We all need at least 8 hours a night. So do pay attention to that and do things that you probably already know about, like make sure that you don't use a screen for 2 hours before bedtime, have a regular bedtime routine, and avoid caffeine in the afternoons, and try and minimize alcohol, because even a tiny bit of alcohol can have a negative effect on sleep. Last but not least, as I mentioned, stress. Really important to minimize your stress levels, because stress gets in the way of that recovery process. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope that you enjoy your return to running, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you could let me know how you get on, I would be really appreciative. And please do write in the comments below, what would you like me to do a video on next? So until next time, happy running.